Guten Morgen, meine Freunde. Willkommen zum 5. Tag. This is McGurk Meadow Trail. McGurk Meadows, Meadow, single meadow. We are heading to Dewey Point. It is not necessarily one of the most popular ones. Hi, guy. Yeah, so here we are. This is not a busy trail, so maybe we have a higher chance of encountering a bear. Let's hope not. I would like to see one from a distance, but we're just gonna make as much noise as we can as we are hiking through here. We don't have the little bells, but me talking kind of loud and, you know, maybe clapping or something. Anyway, stick around, see what happens. So far, it's been nice and peaceful, quiet, just hear sounds of nature. But also trying to make a little noise. I mean, I like the quiet, but gotta make our presence known if there's certain furry creatures around. Now there are two cars in the lot when we pulled in, so more than likely there's a group of hikers or two single individuals, or individuals. Don't need the single. Yeah, that came through here before us, so that's always good, because you never really want to be the first in one of these kind of mountain hikes. But yeah, kind of nice. We've been downhill since the beginning, which means this will be uphill at the end. Fun, but it's just dirt and a nice path, so this is fine. It won't be as rocky as the trail yesterday from Inspiration Point. And not to say I'm a little paranoid, but I got all ears out listening for any kind of little or heavy noise, you know, a heavy branches breaking, or, you know, stuff like that, where, you know, it's a big animal kind of walking through. We're 3.2, so we should be about a mile. So this is the meadow. Oh, it's kind of pretty. This is probably really pretty in the spring when everything is flowering and there's probably water. I like the vantage here because you can kind of see in the distance. Another bonus is that it won't be as buggy as it would be in the summer months, because today's October 9th. Surprisingly, it's cool, but it's not bad. I can assume this kind of floods when this gets a lot of rain. Extends all the way through there. That's nice. I see all the little gnats, all the little flying bugs. Okay, this tree over here with the pear cakes. Okay. Nicki Minaj tree of the Glacier Point Meadow. Okay. So far it's been pretty. We're just on the side of the meadow. It's all kind of wide open. Some big boulders. I thought one of them looked suspiciously round and fuzzy, but it wasn't. It's a little different than everything we've been doing. I mean, we are literally in the woods. Totally different view from the last few hikes where we had those mountain views. We'll get those at the end. But this initial part is kind of enjoyable. Very flat. We went downhill. Now we're level for a little bit before we go up again. Ooh, it's a nice pretty curtain of a tree. Weather's been great. It's been so great. Been really nice and cool in the mornings to begin. Nice and warm. been about 70 more or less over here in the valley. A little cooler up in the higher elevation, and then coming back to Oakhurst, it's been in the 80s. So super fun to drive down with the Jeep with the panels off, but also really interesting the elevation, how it affects the temperature here, how you can go with the 20-degree variance. Things falling from the trees. The sound of the wind roaring is so cool. We have reached 2 miles. We're halfway there. We dropped down significantly, flat for a little bit, and now we're just on a gradual incline. I think it gets steeper towards the end. It is a 1,300 feet gain, but this trail does have a lot of ups and downs. Flat meadow, and then now we go up. So this path is also part of the Pohono Trail. Pohono. This will take us to Dewey Point, but you can also take it to the tunnel, which we were part of that trail yesterday. And then going opposite my direction, you can take this to pretty much Glacier Point. It goes to Taft Point, and then you connect there with Sentinel Dome. And then that connects, I think, with the Panorama Trail, which pretty much eventually will connect to the John Muir, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, goes to Half Dome. I'm also looking for bear prints. Be easier to see in this kind of sandy, more wet soil, if you're looking for specific black bear prints, because that's all that's here. There are no more brown bears or grizzlies in California. The majority of the population, if not all, are black bears. But you know, not all black bears are black. There are some brown fur. There's like an albino type. It's got a different name. They are recognizable though, because they have kind of more pointed ears. They have shorter claws. They got a big, like a higher rump. They don't have a hump in the back. And I think they have a shorter snoot. Whereas brown bears / grizzlies, they have a hump in the neck. They have a lower rump. They got big claws. And they're kind of more grumpy than their cousins, the black bears. Very pretty woods through here. Look at all the moss growing on that tree. Quite nice. It's like a lovely stroll through the woods. Peaceful, quiet. Just hear the wind, hear the trees swaying, occasional chirping. Though wildlife is pretty quiet, all things considered. No little squirrels or chipmunks or even birds. Heard a few like woodpeckers. Has a little similarity to hiking in the Black Hills in South Dakota. Some of those hikes over there are really nice. In Custer State Park, just kind of nice woods hiking, and sometimes you get little peaks of the mountain ranges in the background. So we got about 2.6 miles. Got about 1.4 to get to Dewey Point. We'll take a break there, you know, for our snacky break. Rest up a bit and head back. It's still early. It's 10 right now. We started around 9, so it's been pretty solid. So we began the incline a little while ago. Now we're kind of in the open, still in the woods, but we don't have the canopy, so you can see my shadow. The trees here are so gorgeous, just like fuzzy trees, because they got this really pretty neon moss that you might have seen in the video from Sentinel Dome. Kind of taking our time here, no rush. It is a little bit more, what's the word I want to use? I wouldn't say challenging, but just a little bit harder going uphill at this elevation. I believe we're at 7,000-ish. I don't have a way to tell. My watch doesn't show me. I can usually check in the car dash, or actually, if I had my little paper map, it would tell me. Oh, look at this cute formation here. You can use that for like a miniature if you wanted to do like a wide shot for a movie set or something. In fact, I can put my pigs there. Get a nice picture of them there. Yes, I did bring the pigs. The pigs come with me everywhere. They are also well-versed travelers. They like to come on my adventures, and usually you'll see them in my videos or photos. It's kind of like the little cardboard Stanley, if anybody knows that, or the little cutout person. I'd take the pigs. Anyway, we should be a mile away from Dewey Point. So far, we've only encountered just 2 other people. They did go ahead of us, so I tasked them to be bear patrol and or bait. So, interestingly enough, haven't really seen, oh, there we go. 3 miles?
Duration 1 hour 33 minutes 21
30 minutes per mile pace. Not bad.
35 minutes.
Oh, sorry, 35 minutes per mile. It's been mostly flat. Not like the uphill. I mean, you double up your efforts on going uphill. Don't think I forgot about you. It just wasn't a whole lot of anything going on. So we are nearing the point, Dewey Point. This is our 50% of the hike complete. So the wind has picked up. We ran into another hiking couple, so there's a total of 6 people in this trail up until this point. There might be more people behind us coming in, but we only ran into 2 of them. Kind of uneventful, just walking through the woods. Saw a woodpecker, saw a chipmunk, and that's about it. I'm kind of surprised about the lack of wildlife, especially out here being so remote and in the woods. Look how pretty. There we see, finally we get to the valley. There should be an overlook in this direction, and we should be seeing Half Dome here pretty quickly. That's gorgeous. Ooh, listen to the wind. Look at all those pines. So pretty. Oh, this is Dewey Point. The wind is winding, guys. Ooh. So a little bit over 4, 4.9, 19, 4.2, 420. Yeah. A little different view. We can see Sentinel Dome from here. You can kind of get a good idea where we were straight ahead of us a couple days ago. And then we kind of went to Roosevelt Point, which incidentally I'll point it out with a little arrow so you get a different view of the valley. See a little bit of Half Dome. We have the North Dome. So we're gonna take a little break absorb the views, get their snackies. Oh, this breeze is amazing. Ooh, look at these nice rocks. All right, I got you on handheld mode now. I haven't done that yet. So we are up here. Oh, actually, hold on. Okay, I got my memory card seems to be on the red. So this is Dewey Point, 7,000 something. Really nice view. I'm rocking Schweiss today. Look at this. Sorry about the wind. It is very gusty up here. Here we have El Capi. Looks kind of different, seeing it front and center. Hopefully you can kind of hear me. I'm trying to shield this with my body. This is our last hike here in the Yosemite Valley. So tomorrow we're gonna do something in the Sierra National Forest. So I leave you with this gorgeous view of the valley. Sentinel, Half Dome, North Dome, El Capitan. Gorgeous looking. All right, time to return. Activity resumed. 4.27. Ah! My knees are already like, listen guy, we're done. What are you doing to us? And I say, I'm sorry knees, we got one more day. Though tomorrow's gonna be an easy one. Tomorrow we'll do the Sierra National Forest one, which I think is only 500 elevation gain to the falls. We'll see what kind of level the falls are at. Don't know if they'll have much water. Judging by the ones here in the valley, they might not be high flowing. But then again, they could be. I mean, if you're looking at comparing them to the other Vernal in Nevada, I don't know what river or creek feeds those. I believe the trail is called the Lewis Creek or something. We'll find out tomorrow. Go through the woods and the meadows and the trees and the dirt. Ooh. Oh, oh. A lot of fallen trees over here, either completely just rotten, eaten by termites and boring beetles. It's fallen over completely, or just cut off if they've fallen across the road. There's one over here it's got a 307 something marking, which I'm assuming, I don't know if that's how old it is, might be this one. Saw it coming up. Nope, it's not that one. Yeah, but you can see the amount of rings. These are old trees here, really, really old. Yeah, see that one uprooted, probably like a really gusty wind or something. Maybe the soil has been loosened over time, erosion. Very nice woods though. No bandana today. I know you're wondering about that. I haven't had to wear them because quite honestly it's been so nice and cool. I rarely sweat, which is interesting because I sweat so much, as you know. I do have a couple bandanas in my bag, and I got my hat as well, but I haven't had to use it. It's kind of nice. It's a little different. So yeah, having mostly shade and cool temperature plus the breeze. Ooh. We're back to the little uphill portion, uphill, downhill. There's some of these. You kind of come up, you come down. Now we're going up. Should be getting closer to the meadow. We just passed the marker a little while ago. 2 miles to go, maybe less now. Surprised. It's just chilling. And just as I'm complaining about not seeing any wildlife, and I'm like, you know, it's kind of weird because this trail is pretty empty. There's really not many people here. It has been pretty much empty. We've run into one other person since we came down from the top. So for this trail to be as empty and quiet, you would think that we would see maybe more animals, more wildlife, but nothing. And we just saw a deer. He was just right there. I took a few pictures. I'm gonna throw one in here so you'll see it. I've seen scat, probably from a fox or a coyote. It looked canine, and some more round, full of grass. I'm thinking deer, but one was pretty dry. Obviously not bear scat. No prints that I've seen around the path anyway. Leaving the meadow now. Got this little fallen down cabin. I didn't record it earlier because I just kind of walked right through it, but must have been a shelter back in the day. You can see his log just needs a little duct tape. Should fix it, right? Do we think? Maybe not. We are 8.09. We should be at 8.4, something like that, 8.5. We've been going at it for 4 hours and 30 minutes. I don't know if that includes our 30-minute break up at the top. I know my summary at the end will include it. I'm thinking it does, but I'm not sure. I guess I haven't really paid much attention to that. Been a very empty trail. It's been enjoyable, so I would definitely recommend it. I will say it's a 10 out of 10 for sure. Like it's not super hard. You got your little ups and downs, you know. The little meadow walk is really nice. I guess it depends on the time of the year. There was really no bugs to speak of. I know some of the reviews mentioned that it was buggy, but obviously if you're going to be in the meadow with water and warmer weathers, then you expect bugs to be around you. Can't really say I saw any snakes or anything like that. The only little disappointing part is the lack of wildlife. So I'm gonna knock down half a point for that. I'm gonna say 9.5 out of 10. But yeah, it's like a really nice stroll in the woods once you get past that area. And of course the overlook you saw is gorgeous, gorgeous views. You got El Capitan right in front of you. So you get a little bit of a different vantage point from Dewey Point that you do from Sentinel Dome. And even Roosevelt Point, you had a little bit of a different look. We never made it to Taft Point. That was supposed to have kind of pretty views as well. But overall, yeah, for sure, definitely recommend it. And if you wanted to be like super adventurous, I mean, you can connect this trail back to where we were and take it all the way to Glacier Point if you wanted to. That would make it definitely a little bit longer. I'd say probably a 10 mile. You know, but then it just depends how ambitious you want to be. You would have to leave your car here, go there and back, or unless you got somebody picking you up on the other side, then it's a different story. I've always liked loops better, just because you're always seeing something different as opposed to just doing it in and out. Now mind you, coming back, sometimes we appreciate things that you didn't see coming this way. You know, maybe on the other side, or once the sun is moving, shadows are different, and it might make the trail look a little bit more interesting. Well, everybody, we have reached the end of our trail, more or less. You can hear the road. 8.44. There it is. Sweet. Well, thank you for joining me on this trail that we like to call Dewey Point in McGurk Meadow, single meadow. It was nice. Definitely recommend. I was disappointed that I did not see a bear. I was kind of hoping. This was probably one of those trails where it's so remote that you would think you would find them. But, you know, it's okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you tuning in to watch. And if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, we got one more episode tomorrow, which will be our last hike here. So until then, ta-ta.